So my name's Sam Owen. I'm the CEO of Otolith. We have developed the very first symptom management treatment for chronic vertigo. And I need the clicker. So let me tell you about the market. In a word, it's enormous. And we have a standard of care opportunity. With just 2% market penetration, we will have over $500 million in revenue. And there are currently 0 symptom management treatments for chronic vertigo. We're doing this with a device that will give us a recurring revenue model. It's got very high margins, and we've spoken with many payers and have strong support because it is such an expensive problem for them. We have very strong market protection as well. We are the first to develop this of any kind, so we're going through the de novo process, and because we have such broad patents, we can take that language from our patents, incorporate it in the de novo classification, and have lasting protections from any fast followers. So let me tell you about how vertigo patients are typically cared for right now. When vertigo first comes on, it's a very scary experience. Am I having a stroke? What's going on? I go to the ER. And very quickly, you're given an MRI. No, this is not a stroke. It's a peripheral vestibular disorder. Well, guess what? We don't want you in the ER. We really don't have much for you. Here's some Antivert or some Valium or something that just basically knocks you out. Go home, sleep it off, and hopefully in 2 days, you're going to be fine. Usually that happens, but for millions of people, they're still vertiginous. And so the first specialist they see is the ENT. Now the ENT is going to hear a natural history. They maybe do another $2,000 MRI test, make a diagnosis and prescribe physical therapy. Maybe they think it's migraine, send you off to a neurologist. They basically just want you out of their office. You try some sort of therapy. Maybe it works, maybe it doesn't. Quite often it doesn't, and you're right back at another ENT. Now the average chronic vertigo patient has seen over 5 specialists. Only 20% report getting an accurate and timely diagnosis. This revolving door of medicine, we'll get to that later. Basically, people will eventually just become these self-care experts going online, just seeing like, oh, there's a doctor in Colorado to help this one person. I'm gonna fly out there because this is debilitating my life. These self-care experts are willing to do just about whatever it takes, but inevitably they have another escalation event and they're right back in the ER. This revolving door of medicine has a cost. It's $60 billion in the United States. This is the delta between what patients are with vertigo cost versus what people without vertigo cost. This was a 50,000 patient study compared to a 30,000 patient control. So this is real quality data here. So let me tell you about the vertigo market. In the United States, roughly 16 to 32 million people will have vertigo, but where we're focused is on the chronic vertigo population. That's roughly 4 to 5 million people, and that's where we have the standard of care opportunity. If you just look at the cream of this group, just the people who are spending over $5,000 a year out of pocket, or payers are spending over $5,000, just that alone is $8.6 billion. And again, most of this is not actually effective treatment. This is just going to the doctor again and again, expensive tests, just trying anything that's out there because there is nothing to treat this condition. So let me tell you about what it is we are doing. In the inner ear, you have a set of acceleration sensors called your vestibular system. This is used for eye stability, balance, spatial awareness. And vertigo is caused when there's some sort of dysfunction there, some sort of asymmetry. What our technology does is it floods that vestibular system with informational masking and essentially drowns out that vertiginous signal. So think of it like if you're trying to sleep, but there's traffic or dogs barking or people talking, what you can do is you can turn on a fan, which creates this white noise and drowns out these distracting signals and lets you sleep. To be clear, your ears still work perfectly fine, but because you're able to mask these distracting signals, your brain's able to compensate and just move on. Well, that's what we do, but for the vestibular system. And the effect is instantaneous. If you imagine your arm itches and you scratch it, that's the exact same sensation. How quickly scratching relieves that itch, that's how quickly we work. It is instant. It seems to last indefinitely as long as that stimulation is applied. The masking is helping people who have the vertigo. There's never been any serious adverse events in any of our clinical trials. Very easy to use. It's a simple wearable device. It's used, integrated with a headband, and just has to be applied to the mastoid right behind the ear. And you saw how the size of it. In the future, we can integrate this with just about any head-worn wearable. Right now, it's with a headband, but you can put it with hats, headphones, really anything. So we've had lots of studies over COVID. We had at-home real-world data with people using our device in their daily lives. We've had over 200 people with chronic vertigo with this, but here's a real apples-to-apples comparison we had between our placebo. Basically, our effective dose helped people with their vertigo 65% of the time, or 65% of people said it helped more than half the time with their episodes. And then we have a placebo, which is an identical device, and all we had to do was change the frequency, because it is a very precise frequency that you see this effect at. Just by changing that frequency, the placebo only had a 20% responder rate. I mean, this is a huge improvement. So we have all sorts of statistical and clinical significance. We have a pretty clear path through the FDA at this point, but I mean, these are numbers. This is great for publication. This is great for the FDA. Let me show you what this improvement actually means. Hopefully there's some volume somewhere.
Sorry.
I was hospitalized for a week.
I was with the Mayo Clinic down in Florida for a while.
I'm very, very dizzy.
Balance problems, frequently falling over.
Not being able to walk, keep food down.
People would mistake me for being drunk.
I wasn't able to drive.
And not just stop driving, I stopped being a passenger in a car.
And I'm missing a day from work.
The workman's compensation and the insurance company want to be on permanent disability. That's where I came across the Otolith.
How fast does it work?
Instantly, it's like flicking a switch.
It was instant.
Very quick.
I noticed a difference almost straight away. I'm back at work now, and I'm back at work full time on a full salary after 3 years.
I wear it daily.
I use it daily. I rely on it, I can say, more than I rely on my phone. It works for me. It makes my life better.
Yeah, it's pretty rewarding what we get to do. So I'm going to try and run through this quick. What do we own? We own the entire spectrum of the therapeutic frequency. So basically anything that comes after us, it's going to be a placebo, it's going to be a dangerous level of vibration, or it's going to be the effective dosage, which we own. Launch product, again, very simple thing, something that you could wear out in public, still be inconspicuous. You see someone wearing a headband, that's how small we've been able to get it, so people are comfortable wearing this everywhere. What we're going to market with is something that is basically a 3-month replaceable pod. This way we make sure the device never loses calibration. Again, we have to make sure that it is putting out the right frequency. It avoids any sort of obsolescence, but it also gives us a recurring revenue stream. The big hockey stick numbers, I mean, the takeaway is this. If we can hit 2% market penetration, so 1 in 50 of the people who currently have no treatment options, if we can hit that number, we will have revenues above $500 million, and we're a multi-billion-dollar company. We've spoken with a lot of payers at this point. We took advantage of the early payer feedback program. United Health Group, Humana, Cigna, basically they all agree on the same things. This is an expensive problem. There's nothing to treat these patients. We love your placebo. If your results continue to show like this, you're going to have reimbursement. We got a great team of clinicians, researchers, engineers. Where we're lacking, we bring in a great group of medical advisory boards. These are really the top names in the vertigo research space that are on board with us. You talk with any ENT, if there's any ENTs in here, you hear treatment for vertigo, you get ENTs very, very excited. We just raised our Series A. What I'm here to do is talk with people who are more late stage, post-market, to make sure that as we get ready for our Series B over the next 1.5 years, we're not going after certain milestones and it turns out we were going after the wrong milestones. So if you guys are Series B and invested in this, interested in this, please talk with me because I'd love to understand what milestones you guys are looking for. And yeah, that's me.